going on, everybody? I am C-Los and welcome to my channel, Pay Yourself Back, where it's always about mental and spiritual wellness. If you're new to the channel and you have not subscribed, or if you've been watching my videos for this whole time and you still haven't subscribed, I don't know why you hadn't subscribed. At this time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll wait. Go ahead, do your thing. Handle your business. All right, guys, before we get into the video, let me just say real quick, I know that there's a lot going on in the world nowadays. I know that people are being laid off, losing their jobs, losing their homes. You got this government shutdown action going on. So I know it's kind of hard to stay motivated, stay on track, and stay focused. But I've always been the one to believe that whatever happened today is already gone. It's out of here. It's a thing of the past. I take comfort in knowing that tomorrow is always going to bring something different. It may not be what you want, but I always look forward to tomorrow because I know tomorrow is a new day. I had someone ask me to do a video, and I'm going to read to you what they said. They say, could I do a video on the top affordable places to stay while living as a student and or visitor in Boca Raton or Fort Lauderdale? Maybe an extremely cheap rent-to-own option, super affordable, clean, and safe. Bless your heart, bless your heart. That's an excellent request. It actually comes at a really good time because my lease is almost up here. I got a couple more months left, but I think I'm gonna pop smoke earlier than later. I've been actually going out to these properties, meeting with managers, going over floor plans, getting a visual of these apartments, talking numbers, rent, and everything else that's associated with the fees for these apartments. I also have some brochures that I can show you guys and kind of share with you on floor plans, deposits, and all of these things of this nature, whatever is required for you to actually move in these apartments. But let me just say real quick, one thing that I would never ever recommend you to do, I'm going to say this up front, is never rent to own anything, especially when it comes to a home or a condo or a duplex. Never rent to own. That's just a bad, it's bad. If you guys haven't checked out my video, my first home rental experience in South Florida, go check that video out as well. It's going to answer a lot of these questions that this person here asked. But let me just say real quick, I think that South Florida draws a lot of people, and it makes, a lot of people want to move here. People come here once or twice to visit and they fall in love and they're mesmerized. There's a lot of things that you don't know and that they don't tell you. And quite naturally, you're not going to know till you actually move here. So there is somewhat of a facade in living here in South Florida that you might not see on the outside looking in. But if it was me, the first place that I would look would be the internet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the internet, check it out. I'm going to show you some properties and show you some prices of these super affordable and cheap places to stay in South Florida. And then I'm going to come back and give you my opinion and my perspective and my experience as well. But let me say real quick, you're going to get what you pay for. If you want cheap rent, from what I have seen, and this don't just apply to Florida, this applies to anywhere, but anywhere that is usually expensive, when you say cheap rent, it's places that I wouldn't recommend anybody to say, at least me. I'm not saying that if you're already living there, I mean, it's do your thing, but you're going to get what you pay for. So with that being said, guys, let's go over here to the internet and let's see what we see. Okay, guys, so all I did was went to Google and I typed in cheap apartments to rent in Boca Raton. So let's click on one right here, the 20 best cheap apartments in Boca Raton. Okay, let's click that. All right, now let me move myself out of the way here. Okay, now if you look here on the map, I'm going to show you exactly. So here we are at Fort Lauderdale. Now it's a short distance. It's about 22 miles north from Fort Lauderdale to Boca Raton. So we passed through Pompano Beach, Deerfield Beach, and then we're at Boca Raton. So it's a pretty short distance. So let's just go over here and look at some of the prices. One bedroom, $1,100. One bedroom, $1,200, so on and so forth. You kind of get the gist of what I'm saying, guys. So realistically speaking, a studio, it's gonna run you around $800-900 if you're lucky. One bedroom is in the thousands. Let's look at this one. Let's click on this one real quick and look here. The Crossroads at downtown Boca. This kind of reminds me, these apartments remind me of kind of like a motel, with the 1 and 2 tier apartments here. Let's look at it. That's nice. Okay, got it. Rim Boutique Apartments. Okay, the bathroom is straight. Okay, kitchen is nice. All right, so let's go back and look at another one. I don't think we really, I'm just kind of showing you. I mean, obviously, I didn't pick the place. I just typed it in, cheap apartments, and this is what you're looking at, guys. $1,200 2-bedroom, 14 for 2, so on and so forth. Now let's go ahead and go over here to cheap apartments to rent in Fort Lauderdale and see what this has to offer now. Apartments under $800 in Fort Lauderdale, apartments.com. Let's look here. Okay, so now this is more like it. 3 to 4 bedroom, $685 to $824. I wouldn't trust it. Remember, I told you you're going to get what you pay for. You can't always pay attention to the pictures. So let's go. This is actually in, I'm sorry, this is actually in David. It's not, Fort Lauderdale is a big place. It's huge. I mean, you gotta have a lot of territories, not necessarily that just because it says Davie or Sunrise or Plantation or Tamarack doesn't mean that it's not Fort Lauderdale. It is Fort Lauderdale. Those are territories. They're not right in the heart of downtown Fort Lauderdale, but they are considered to be territories of Fort Lauderdale. So studio $700, Fort Lauderdale $795 for a studio. So again, guys, it doesn't really, I'm showing you here, and here's a little area here kind of outlining some of the territories again. Well, this is mainly Fort Lauderdale, but all these here, Sunrise, like I said, Plantation, this is all Fort Lauderdale. North Lauderdale, Lauderhill, but Davie is not really considered a territory, I don't think. But anyway, you get the picture of what we're talking about here and what I'm trying to tell you. It is not cheap to live here. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get back to the video. 1 bedroom, 700 square feet, $1,476. Okay. Now, granted, these apartments are kind of nicer apartments. They're more closer to the beach, but nevertheless, check this one out right here. This one right there. The Dominica, 765 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, $1,503. This right here, this is like a little brochure right here. As you can see, it's not in Boca or Fort Lauderdale, it's in Hollywood, which is a little bit south of both of those places. But nevertheless, I just wanted to kind of show you here. You know, it is what it is. But they give you the sheet right here. It has a layout of things here, floor plan, 645 square foot, 1 bedroom is $1,425. Your utilities and all of that stuff is included. 2 bedroom is $1,750 and another $105 on for utilities, which is included in the price of the rent. And for a total of $1,855 for a 2 bedroom apartment. By the way, remember, 3 times the rent is what you need to make. So if the rent is $1,855, you got to be making 3 times that. I'm not even going to get into the math of that because I can't figure it out on the top of my head, but you get the idea, right? Okay, there you have it. Well, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you, it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap to live here in South Florida. It is not cheap at all. I'm assuming if you're a student and you're coming here, or if you're not a student and you're single, you know, you see what the studios and 1 bedroom apartments go for. They're not cheap, and this is kind of like the market. I mean, they can charge pretty much what they want to based upon the economy, based upon the going rate. And it is not cheap at all. So keep that in mind before you come. I mean, if you come thinking that you're going to get a cheap, you're going to get what you pay for. Basically, you're going to get what you pay for. It don't take a rocket scientist to know that and to figure it out. But a lot of people want to come here. I mean, the real estate market is constantly going up, and it's going to really take something drastically to happen for it to go down. I don't see it. People are coming here by the thousands per year. Everybody wants to come to Florida, but I try to do these videos. People ask me all the time to do videos and questions, and I try to be as honest as I can with you guys. I'm out there beating the pavement, talking to people, interacting, getting people's thoughts and opinions so I can bring it back to you guys. It's hard not to be biased. People appreciate my honesty, and I try to be honesty. I just try to You know, I try to put a filter on the things that I say and the way I really feel, but for the most part, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to give it to you straight. And I think that you appreciate it. Anybody would, even if you don't like it. So I hope I've answered the question. I hope that you guys got something out of the video, and if you would like to see something else, just let me know. I appreciate you tuning in to Pay Yourself Back, guys. And with that being said, be well, my friend. C-Los out, baby.